Back in May, we purchased our first home as a family. From paint to furniture, decor, and more, it's really been such a fulfilling project. So come along with me as we continue to make our house a home.
It is a little bit ridiculous.
I am obsessed. Welcome back to another Home Diaries video. Today I am so excited because we're working on our kitchen. Our kitchen has been such a work in progress of getting the floors redone, getting the countertops redone, the backsplash, so much in there, the paint. But today's fun because we're working on a lot of the details. We have a bit of space between our cabinets and the ceiling, and I would love to fill that with something, whether that be baskets, plants. I'm a little intimidated to style that area because it's pretty long and I don't want to already just add too much in the mix. We have a lot going on in the kitchen, I will share. We also have a trash compactor, which I know some people find useful. Personally, I don't really like the concept of it because I don't like our trash to sit in the kitchen too long. I do think eventually we will actually transform it into a pull-out trash can, but until then, I have a little project I want to work on to try to hide it. I have also been collecting antique vintage plates, and I would love to create some sort of gallery wall somewhere in our kitchen, maybe a couple different spots. We have had so much fun putting our house together. I'm sure that's very obvious, but our new favorite thing to do on the weekends is just work on our house. So we're gonna have a nice Saturday, maybe Sunday, maybe Monday of doing some home projects. Here's what we're working with in the kitchen. Above the cabinets, that's where I would love to style some things. And then over here we have the trash compactor. It's just an eyesore. It's an eyesore. So I ordered some things to actually make a curtain in front of it. I think it's gonna work out pretty well. Some people even do it with their dishwashers too. That doesn't bother me at all, the dishwasher being out. Right here we have our breakfast nook, and this is where I'm thinking I want to do the plate gallery wall on this side, and then possibly right here do some too. I don't know. We'll lay it out, see what it looks like. We're having some shutters put in on these windows. This bench we're gonna get reupholstered. I just haven't been sure what fabric I wanted to do yet, something very neutral. Our kitchen table will go here, possibly some bar stools. I don't want it to be super crowded over here though. We're also replacing this light fixture. I still just have not found one that I like. If you have any recommendations, please send them. I was thinking some sort of chandelier, but it's hard to find one that has not just like a straight pendant on it, that it is flexible, like how I think that they actually converted that one a bit. This chair behind me too, we're also going to get reupholstered because it's pretty busy. But before we head to the antique store, I wanted to ask about a couple of minor detail things. I want to switch out the knobs on our cabinets to something very simple. We kept the original cabinets in this house and they're just a little bit busy between the exposed hinges and the arches on them. It's just a lot going on with everything else we have going on in the kitchen, so I'm trying to go super basic. Here's what we're working with. I'll try to show them actually held up against the cabinets because the cabinets are technically off-white, but they do look white. We could always get wood ones and paint them the same color of the cabinets if we really wanted it to be simple too. These I'm pretty sure are no. They're just more of a kind of sandy beige. These look pretty white. I believe they are. These ones just contrast a little bit with the cabinet color. These ones I think are absolutely precious. I just don't know if it's too much with the backsplash, the floors. And then these would match really well with the hinges. They also match our sink, but they just feel like they're gonna add more to because they're technically a polished nickel. I really like these just alone. I'm just not sure if it's going to be too busy putting those on the cabinets. These are nearly identical to the ones we already have. They're just more of a polished nickel versus a matte nickel. And then we also obviously don't have outlet covers yet because I wanted to replace them with ceramic ones that were pretty simple too. I just got a couple of plain ones, but one is more white, one is more cream. The grout on our backsplash is more white, but the actual backsplash is definitely cream, almost kind of yellow. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to tell a difference, but here's the biscuit cover. So this one's a bit more of an off-white. It really matches the grout well. Yeah, you can kind of see the difference more there between the two. So this is a true white, like that. Or find it one that's more of a nickel shade. I don't know. I don't want this to be too in your face though. I'm trying to go with something pretty simple. We do have old school light switches, so they are kind of bulky, but I kind of like that. We just have this shade right now, but in this window, I was originally thinking cafe curtains, but now I saw a photo on Pinterest where someone had half almost a cafe curtain, and then they also had a tulip shade, and that looked really sweet with just something neutral like this same material. Or I might still do a cafe curtain or just a tulip shade. I would also love your thoughts on that. And then this light, we actually have a light to replace that. We just need to do that. When it comes to styling above our kitchen cabinets, I really haven't found a good thrift store when it comes to home stuff, so I'm actually going to the antique store. This one is nice though because the prices are a little bit more reasonable. It's huge, they have a lot, but it's not as curated, so you do have to look more through things. At least for me, that's been my experience. But I think that we'll find some good baskets here, possibly other things to style. Cookbooks I think look good up there. Any maybe small prints, but again, I'm trying to keep it minimal when it comes to colors above there because we do have a lot of color in our kitchen already. And I would like to get a couple more plates for our plate gallery wall. I think I'm just missing a couple more. I really like the idea of having different sizes too, and I don't have a ton of small ones, so that's something that's really easy to find at the antique store. Worried about the baskets for a second because most of the ones I was finding were so expensive. They were actual vintage baskets, but I found one booth where most of them were around $10, which just seemed like a much better price. I did find a lot of fun pieces to style above too that weren't baskets. I do think it's not going to be enough to fully fill them, but I would rather just slowly accumulate antiques that actually speak to me rather than just trying to buy things for the sake of buying them to fill it. And we did find a few plates too to add to the collection, so I'm feeling really good. Here's the haul. It all looks so good together just sitting here. I am really glad that it all flows nicely together, but we have a couple of cookbooks. I mainly got these because from the outside, I think that they coordinate really well, and I might put these on top of the cabinets or just underneath our little breakfast nook. I have a bunch of cookbooks there. This vase I thought would be great to tie in our floors. So many baskets. Like I said, I got a great deal on all these baskets. They were really, really well priced. I like that they're all different colors. This dark brown one is throwing me off a little bit, but we also have a light brown picnic basket that I can switch out if that one doesn't work. You can never have too many baskets. I really use these all around our house. The last plates for our collection, I thought that this crab one was adorable. So cute. Loved the checkered detail on this one, the little pear. I liked the idea of finding a crock, but I did not realize how expensive those are. The cheapest one I found was $60 and this one was $29. And it's pretty simple too. I also have a fake plant that's coming, I think sometime this evening. I'm just not sure about having greenery, like bringing green in. I don't know. Okay, that's cute. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I tested out putting this sign up there, but I do not like that. That's gotta go. But I am thinking a plate might look cute there instead, so let's see. I think I like the look of a plate up there better, but this plate I'm just not really sure about. I'm gonna switch it out. I like it. I like how it looks. I might switch where things are exactly, just kind of live in it and see, but I like everything up there. I think it looks really good. One of the things that I really like too is just how our kitchen tracks from the dining room space. I think that it just flows well all together. Gonna move on to the gallery wall of my plates, but I realized my plate collection is in the room that Connor's currently napping in. So I'm gonna hold off on that, either do that this afternoon or just get started on it tomorrow. And in the meantime, I thought I could share some other updates. In our sunroom, we also had these Roman shades installed and I really, really like them. This room gets really hot too, so it's nice to finally have some coverage here. I am wondering if we should eventually do like sheers over top of them. I like that they're very minimal, but I'm not crazy about the tops of them, but for now it's just nice having those in. On the French doors to our bedroom, this was just more a necessity. We needed to have some, but they are on those doors too to give a little bit of privacy. These were also needed because we don't have a ton of privacy in our backyard. You could kind of look straight into the sunroom from here, and I think it'll help with the energy bill as well. We have shutters for the front of the house that I think will be in sometime in October, so that's exciting. And unfortunately, my microphone was having some issues during this clip. But essentially I was running you through the game plan for this next day that we were going to work on my plate gallery wall and the curtain over the trash compactor, and that was much quicker than I originally recorded this clip to be, so ended up working out. I set out all of our plates, and essentially last night I put these hangers on all of them. Very simple, easy to do. I will link all the equipment. I'll do a post on my Amazon storefront, so if you want to get all this stuff, although I think that's the only thing you really need. And then I used parchment paper to actually create little stencils, and on each of these I labeled for each plate, and I put exactly where I need to put the nail in. It came with different hangers, but I just feel more confident using these. We use these on all of our picture frames and everything. I'm pretty sure I can use these. I'll check, but the ones that it came with, I wasn't super sure about. And then some painter's tape to kind of arrange everything. I do think I'm gonna do this wall right here, and then also that wall right there. Typically when I hang things, I'm pretty live and let live. I just go for it. I'm not all that precise about it, but after getting this kitchen professionally painted, I'm just a little bit more weary about putting nails in the wall that I'm not super confident about. And I'm glad I did the stencils because I was looking on Pinterest how I should arrange these, and I was going back and forth if I should just do a straight line and stack them or have them random, but there is some sort of order to it. And I think that's the way I'm gonna go. It seems like it would be easier just to do them in one straight line, but I actually think that that would be harder to get it perfectly lined up. But there are a lot of different ways you can arrange it.
Opening, closing, all in one day. Blue sky, then violent rain. Feeling the dirt shift, sensing the change. The dog has been shaken outside of a grave. Opening, closing, statements to phrase. Radio channels, curses or praise. News and
Okay, I have my stencils up. I finished this, then I thought to myself, you could so just do something like this in AI, but for me, I'm a pen and paper kind of girl. I like to get everything up on the wall before. Honestly, it might look kind of cool to trail them up over there, but I'm not sure. I just don't want to have them too low because having a toddler, but it might look kind of cool. Maybe I'll try to add one over top. It's time to put some nails in the wall. I'm just gonna nail it straight onto the paper and then tear the paper off.
close together just feels right in this strange weather, strange weather. Opening, closing, both of these eyes. There's always a prophet, always a lie, a faraway poem, a fragment of light. Catching a ribbon, lost in the wind of my mind. On the threshold.
I'll have to get a shot of these once the light comes in. This kitchen actually doesn't get a ton of natural light. The sun sets through our kitchen, which is nice when you're cooking dinner. I'm obsessed. This was such a simple DIY and so cheap. I think the most one of these plates cost me was probably $10, but they look so cute. I did move the pair from the shelf. I just wanted it to be more of a focal point. I will say this pendant light is throwing me off because it is just not the vibe. Once we have a cute one, oh my goodness, you guys. I do either need to move the crab up or the flowers down a bit. The hammering is really loud. I don't want to wake up Connor while he's napping, so I'm gonna do that later. It is adorable, so cute. This is what I ordered to cover the trash compactor. We have some, these are just from Amazon, but they're linen, technically cafe curtains, and they're actually really, really nice. They do feel like real linen. I don't think they are. And then this doesn't look super nice. This is magnetic that actually attaches onto it, and it's adjustable. But our trash compactor actually isn't magnetic. For some reason, I thought it was. So I'm gonna see if I can just put a command strip on here because it's really lightweight, especially since it is more temporary. We're gonna try that first. And if you are curious, this is what it looks like on the dishwasher. It's kind of cute. Okay, I can't tell if I like this. I can't tell if this just draws your attention even more so now to the area. You'll have to let me know. It's definitely not a permanent thing. Why am I laughing? It is a little bit ridiculous. I also forgot to mention that my fake pothos came in, and from afar and on camera it looks good. It definitely looks fake up close, and I just really prefer to have real plants in the house, but there is no light that gets up there, so I think this just makes more sense. Headed to the gym. I've talked about this before, but when I'm doing things around the house, I always enter this vortex where I must complete the mission and I forget about the outside world. So it's always good for me to come and just get out a little bit. And I find when I go back home, I'll really know if I like something or if I don't like it after stepping away for a bit. I feel like the thing that always goes to the wayside when I'm working on house stuff or just mom stuff, whatever it is working out. And that is one of the things I am trying to work on, is working out and going to the gym when I do have other things that I technically can be doing, I think I should be doing, because ultimately this is the thing I should be doing, moving my body and getting stronger, because I really enjoy it. So let's get a workout in, take a breather. We also have the same shades over here, and I want to get these reupholstered up here. The monkeys are adorable. They just don't quite fit the vibe of this room that we have going. Let me know if you have any thoughts. I was thinking of doing maybe a dark navy or something. This is the view from afar. We kind of have all the colors in this room, but I've just been wondering and kind of thinking about, I also moved these bar stools that we had in the garage in here, and the thing is, I love these bar stools. I think that they are really, really nice. They're the brand Our House, but I got them from Facebook Marketplace a few years ago when we moved into our apartment. I'm not so sure what I think about the dark brown, but now that we have the dark brown baskets up there, I do think they look nice. Maybe I should just do two up here. But even since having these out, we've gotten so much use out of them, so I definitely want to do bar stools. But now this seems a little bit crowded if we are to do a breakfast table, a breakfast nook here. So let me know what your thoughts are on the bar stools. And if you have any recommendations for this bench, I think I want to do something neutral, a performance fabric that'll do well if it gets spills or any food on it. And of course the pendant light too, but this is the vibe if you're trying to get kind of a farther out view. What do we think for fabric? Supposedly it's about to storm tonight, and I'm really hoping that it does, because it has not rained or stormed in a very long time. That just sounds like such a cozy situation. Cash is really excited next to me, but I wanted to share something that's not home related that I just got in the mail. It's a children's book that says A Child's Garden of Verses. The description says, in this collection of 66 poems, Stevenson recalls the joys of his childhood, from sailing boats down a river to sailing off to foreign lands in his imagination. It essentially has a bunch of just really pretty watercolor illustrations in it. It's just such a sweet book that I wanted to share. This one's really cute. It says, my shadow. I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me, and what can be the use of him is more than I can see. He is very, very like me from the heels up to the head, and I see him jump before me when I jump into my bed. One morning, very early before the sun was up, I rose and found the shining dew on every buttercup, but my lazy shadow, like an errant sleepy head, had stayed at home behind me and was fast asleep in bed. I'm always looking for cute books to add to our just children's book collection, so I wanted to share this one. But I just have to say, I am so happy with how our kitchen is turning out. With every addition that we do, it just feels more and more like ours. I did order some samples of fabric for the window above the sink, so I'll get your input on there. Definitely give your input on the knobs. I would love to know that. If you do a plate gallery wall, please tag me, send it to me on Instagram because I would love to see. I have a goal to finish most of the kitchen, all the big stuff, by Connor's birthday. And I think we might actually achieve that. But I'm about to give this guy some cuddles, do some meal planning for the week, and just have a chill Sunday evening at home. Thank you guys for being here. Let me know if you enjoy the Home Diaries series. I know it's a little more niche. Is it niche or is it niche? Everyone says niche, but I think it's technically niche, but I could be wrong. And I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye, friends. Cash obviously says bye too.